Hello Capricorn, and welcome to Sincere Tarot. This is your What Do You Need to Know for June tarot reading, and your energy for this month is the Devil. Please don't be scared away from this one, okay? This can also be like a representation of Capricorn and lots of structure and order as well, but it could also be a very toxic work environment or relationship in your life, or maybe a toxic attitude that you have that we need to change, okay? So that's what's coming up. Stick up with me because we always focus on advice to get the best case scenario for you, because we all have free will. Nothing is set in stone, okay? So what does Capricorn need to know for June? And by the way, not all, but a lot of tarot card readers are just gonna ignore those cards and kind of brush past them, all right? Now I do overall see a good outcome for you. It's definitely quite an intense month, and this all has to do with this energy in the past, which is Three of Swords. This could be someone that you work with, a romantic relationship, it could be a friendship. I'm feeling for a lot of you it might actually be work or something to do with that. So I'll speak of it as that, but these are general readings, so it could be a certain relationship with someone. It could be a different type of relationship, like some of the ones that I named, right? Okay, but regardless, this is someone who you used to get along with really well. Notice the similar dress. You used to be like two peas in a pod, but now like there's been a betrayal. That could be someone cheated on you, someone went behind your back, someone did something they promised they wouldn't, said a secret that they wouldn't, you know, like betrayed you, and it could have gone either way, to be honest. I mean, even if it was you who, and the thing is, even if, like, let's say you feel betrayed by this person might also feel that way from you. You both actually have a similar attitude towards one another. So your energy is the Star. You're going through such an intense transformation. Like, this has really woken you up and seen things in a whole new light. It's almost like you're a whole new person. This is very spiritual, very strong, very powerful. Sometimes we shine the brightest when we go through the darkest times of our life. And I feel like it's been quite difficult for you, very stressful, might be potentially dealing with a lot of stress and everything attached to that, right? But it's really bringing out the best in you, and that's amazing, because I often see that, like, sometimes when there are difficult times, it either brings out the best or the worst in someone. In your case, it's making you like an even more amazing person. What you need to know, this actually might be towards a female, because what you need to know is the Queen of Cups. Now, it could be someone that you work with, it could be a boss or something like that, but again, it could still be a male. If it is a male, it's a male who's in his feminine energy and like really sensitive, and I feel like it's weird. It's like the energy in between you and this other person is Five of Swords. So like there's a very like controlling aspect, and I feel like this person is turning away from you or has turned away from you, and it's like there's an energy of like one or both of you feels like you needs to call the shot, needs to have the upper hand, needs to be right. I'm right, it's my way or the highway. It's a very like closed energy. Yeah, both of you feel in a kind of a similar, are reacting in a similar way, right? Sometimes our closest relationships are our biggest mirrors to aspects of ourselves that we wouldn't otherwise see as well. You know how sometimes someone can be like, oh, I'm such a nice person and I never get angry, but then they meet someone that just makes them so angry. It's like, oh, well, they're mirroring something within you that you didn't see before. Do you see what I mean? It's allowing you to see what we see in others allows us to see different aspects of ourselves. The outcome is Temperance. You are going to learn to have the patience of a saint. This is like divine patience, divine timing, and everything will work out in its own time. Usually that means it's a lot longer than how we want it to be up here in our head, but you're growing, you're learning, and I feel like you're going to be a lot more stable with this Queen of Pentacles energy. Like, work is going to go well. Like, if this has to do with work, you will like come out on top for sure, even if it means in the long run, okay? If it's to do with a relationship, you are going to have the stability that you need to, even if you're not with someone anymore, to be like the perfect partner or a really good partner for someone else who's like really stable and down to earth, okay? What you need to know about this other person, or it could be a situation, it could be like, it might not be an actual person, it could be a situation, but what you need to know is this situation is falling apart, at least, and it's actually more for them. What you might not see is what's going on in this other person's personal life, or how their interaction with you has actually so deeply affected them in a way that they feel like chaos and uncertainty and everything's falling apart, all right? All right, let's get some clarification cards for Capricorn. Interesting. Wow. Wow, you're getting so tough from this, honestly. So I feel like the thing that may have been what may have been part of the betrayal is like someone spoke the truth, but it was not necessarily well laid out or needed to be spoken. And it was, sometimes people will say things and they're actually quite hurtful and mean, but they're like, well, I'm just speaking the truth. You know, it could have been when someone was running their mouth and it's like they said something. It's almost like it came out of you or the other person without even like meaning to, but it did. Or it could be about a young male or someone else involved in the relationship, or if this is to do with work, it could be like someone else is, you know, betraying you and saying negative things about you behind your back, for example. Okay, many examples. Okay, now you've actually reached your breaking point, which has broken you open to become an even more like in touch with your divine, and just being like, you know what, I'm just going to be me, I'm going to be positive, I want to be a shining light. No matter what, it's like whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and you're so tough. And actually, like, part of your strength is that you're able to now be a bit more vulnerable. Now, whoever this person is or the situation, like, this is a lesson that needed to be learned, and it is going to be learned, and it's actually a part of their karma as well. They needed to go through this. There's something that they need to complete, a contract they need to complete to finish. So, and by the way, just because like two people have a contract, potentially this might be the case with you too, that doesn't mean that it's all going to be fun and games and hunky-dory. You know, people who are arch enemies, they have contracts with one another, and those are not fun relationships. I feel like there might be a lot of confusion, deception, psychological abuse, manipulation. There might be some drug abuse, or things like that. You or the other person might be getting really depressed. I feel like this interaction with you and the other person is really, at this point, it's really not overall good for your mental health, either of your mental health, okay? I do believe, like, in the future, you guys are going to come to an understanding. You're at least going to just stop attacking each other. It doesn't mean you're going to get along. You're not going to agree on things, but you're going to be like, you know what, let's just stop fighting. Or you're just going to stop. There might not even be any words spoken about it, but you're both just going to stop, and you're going to learn to be a lot more patient with one another, okay? It doesn't mean like you're going to connect like that, like how you did before, okay? You are going to be so much stronger, so much tougher, so much more discerning. This is just one of the many experiences in your life. You're going to have much more solid boundaries. You're going to know what you want. You will, if this is to do with work, you're going to work your way up the ladder, I feel. Maybe become a little bit more independent, or maybe, you know, it's really turning out quite well for you. And I need to clarify this once more. I don't understand why. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is interesting. So I feel like this person they might actually feel like because of this that they're not going to get like the happiness and joy and love and connection that they truly desire. But I feel like that never would have worked with you, well, with both of you together. So for them, it's like they think, oh, this has fallen apart, therefore I'm not going to get that. And they might actually, if they were the ones who were, which I feel like it actually might more likely have been them, right? But general readings, okay? So for most of you, I feel like it was the other person who was betrayed you, and they're really going to start thinking about like what they did. They're going to think about like the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Like if you want to work in a healthy work environment, you can't be gossiping negatively about anyone behind their back, even if you don't necessarily like them, or you didn't like that they said this or did that or whatever. They're really going to be learning that, hopefully. And they're really going to feel the sting of it. You know, it's just that betrayal will come back to them and just bite them in the butt. Let's get one more clarification card. You know, you're not only going to be strong, you're just going to be like, you're going to be strong. You can be strong and soft, and I feel like that's what you're going to do. It's really going to bring out the best in you, this whole situation, even though it's really tough right now, okay? Let's get some advice cards for Capricorn, for the situation. Okay, first advice card is the Nine of Pentacles. So if this is to do with work or a relationship, you need to make sure that you're prioritizing yourself and that you are self-sufficient, okay? I personally believe like we are at our highest level first we need to become the highest levels of ourself individually, and then we can meet another individual who's also at the highest level, around the same level of us, and then that's the only way to get to a higher level, is when you're in that very like high consciousness partnership, right? But what you need to focus on right now is to make sure that you can take care of yourself, You have your own place to live. You can make your own money. Like, you need to be 100% self-sufficient and just worry about you and taking care of yourself. And then if you have any dependents, to make sure that it is, you are the primary, you can, if you are living with someone or you're at this particular job, you know that if anything was to happen and then that connection was severed, that you can take care of yourself and anyone that depends on you, okay? The next advice card is we've got the King of Swords. You might want to get a lawyer, okay? And when you do communicate with this person, it really needs to be just like really simple, really clear, to the point, very strong. You might have to get a little bit tough. And also if there's like an air, if this is at work, if there's an air sign male, you really might need to like have a conversation with him, but like just say it for what it is, like lawyer speak, okay? Third advice card, this one fell out when I was shuffling, and I put it back in and I said that, you know, I would mention it if it came back up, and I kind of had a feeling that it would. So we've got the King of Cups here for your third advice card. So to have a really good balance with your head and your heart, to make sure that you're okay, you're actually going to have to be a little bit more in your masculine, whether you're a male or female, be a bit more in your masculine and your boundaries, with emotional boundaries, mental boundaries, physical boundaries, all of those things with this person. You're going to have to be like really tough in that sense, but you can be tough and gentle at the same time, if that makes sense. Fourth advice card, please listen to this one, okay? 9 of Wands. There's going to be one more kind of big challenge with this person. You just need to be ready for it, and you will overcome. You will succeed. You're in a tricky situation. It's not fun, but you 100% will succeed. It's just be ready for that, and that will make everything go much easier, okay? I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you'd like a private reading, please send me an email or check out my website. That's all in the description below. I do monthly videos, and I'm going to start doing like different types of videos, so definitely make sure you're subscribed. Please like, share, comment. It helps me so much, especially the sharing, like seriously, and I really, really appreciate it. All right, since you're still here, I just had okay, you should not do this, okay. You get a secret advice card. One more big secret bonus card. Keep your integrity, keep the high ground. Even if you're up against more than one person, you've got this. You've got this. Keep the high ground. All right, have a great month. Bye.